Good evening and welcome to Source 16 News at 10. New this hour, a Hopkinsville police officer has been terminated after he was found guilty of dishonesty and insubordination by the Hopkinsville City Council tonight during a special called disciplinary hearing. The disciplinary hearing was for Hopkinsville police officer Lance Noshbush, who officials say was dishonest and insubordinate to his supervisors, Sergeant Scott Mays and Lieutenant Clayton Sumner. Noshbush is currently suspended without pay for reportedly working on his vacation day on March 31st to help a fellow officer with yard work, despite being told not to by his supervisor since he was placed on light duty because of a back injury that occurred while he was off duty. During the hearing, Noshbush stated he was never dishonest nor insubordinate to his supervisors. He also stated that he had told them what his intentions were while he was on vacation. We'll have more details on this story coming up tomorrow, but again, the officer has been terminated. Also new this hour, a Fort Campbell teen has been arrested and charged in connection to a bank robbery in Oak Grove yesterday afternoon. Oak Grove Police Lieutenant Adam Vanderkoek says 19-year-old Jared Good of 8424A Dennard Street was arrested this evening in connection to the robbery at BB&T Bank on Fort Campbell Boulevard in Oak Grove. He says a tip called into the Hopkinsville Police Department from individuals who saw the surveillance photo led to the identity of the 19-year-old. Hopkinsville Police, Oak Grove Police, and the Federal Bureau of Investigations went to the local Army post today and interviewed Good, who gave enough information that he was arrested. Lieutenant Vanderkoek says Good was then detained by Fort Campbell Military Police before being turned over to investigators and transported to the Oak Grove Police Station where, during an interview, he admitted to the robbery at the bank in Oak Grove. Police reportedly recovered a portion of the stolen money and charged Good with second-degree robbery, a Class C felony. According to Vanderkoek, the investigation is still ongoing and further arrests are expected. Even though Good was apprehended at Fort Campbell, police say he is not a member of the armed services. Hopkinsville Community College will be hosting their 45th annual commencement ceremony tomorrow night. HCC President Jim Selby will preside over the ceremony and will also present graduation credentials to the class of 2011. According to HCC Registrar Ruth Ann Reddy, 584 HC students have applied for 1,276 credentials, 448 two-year degrees, 770 certificates, and 58 diplomas. Kentucky Transportation Cabinet Secretary and HCC alumnus Mike Hancock will be the guest speaker for the ceremony. The ceremony will get underway at 7 o'clock at the James E. Bruce Convention Center. Officials will stream the ceremony live online at hopkinsville.kytcs.edu. A Fort Campbell helicopter was forced to land in Eddyville last night. According to Fort Campbell spokeswoman Kim Tashoni, a Chinook carrying 7 soldiers assigned to the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment was forced to land in an empty field due to an in-flight emergency. Tashoni told Source 16 that she is grateful that the skilled aviators were able to successfully land the aircraft without any injuries. An assessment team is currently on the scene to determine what caused the emergency landing and how the aircraft will be removed. President Obama has approved the governor's request for a major disaster declaration for Kentucky. On April 25th, Governor Steve Beshear declared a state of emergency to allow local officials immediate access to state resources to assist in public safety and recovery efforts in response to severe thunderstorms, tornadoes, and flash flooding across the state over the past 2 weeks. Beshear's requests for public assistance and hazard mitigation have been granted, and all other requests are still under review. The governor also requested a disaster declaration for Kentucky's farm families from Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack, which included 21 counties in western Kentucky. Meanwhile, Governor Beshear today requested 16 additional counties be included in the request for disaster assistance from Agricultural Secretary Vilsack. Callaway, Christian, Ohio, Todd, and Trigg counties are among the 16 counties included in the governor's latest request. The governor's written request is the necessary first step to initiate the process for a secretarial disaster declaration, which is necessary for several U.S. Department of Agriculture disaster assistance programs to become available to farmers across the Commonwealth. Although there are currently no mandatory evacuations in Marshall County, emergency management officials want to pass along some vital information to residents regarding assistance and sandbags. Emergency management officials are continuing to monitor the flood conditions and say sandbags are available for any resident that needs them at 160 Homer Lucas Lane across from the Mike Miller Park on Highway 68. Also, the Red Cross is on standby if a shelter is needed in the county. If anyone needs assistance in moving items from their residence beyond closed roads or barricades, you can call Marshall County's Emergency Operations Center at 527-6503 or the Sheriff's Department at 527-3112. If you need assistance evacuating your home, you can also call the Marshall County EOC. Citizens are being asked to be proactive and voluntarily evacuate areas where the water is expected to rise. Links to flood stages, road closure information, water disinfection, flood readiness, and other safety information may be found at mcphd.org. Well, a local band participated in the Kentucky Derby Festival Pegasus Parade in Louisville today. The Callaway County High School Laker Band was one of only a dozen or so bands chosen from hundreds of applicants to perform in the Pegasus Parade, which is the oldest Kentucky Derby Festival event. The parade route was down Broadway from Campbell to 9th Street and is held annually on the Thursday before the Kentucky Derby on Saturday. The Pegasus Parade features colorful floats, marching bands, giant inflatable cartoon characters, equestrians, and celebrities. So congratulations goes out to the Callaway County High School Laker Band on this great honor. Meanwhile, Marshall County High School students will get a dose of reality tomorrow about the dangers of methamphetamine. The Marshall County Coroner's Office and the Marshall County Sheriff's Department will host a mock meth lab bust at the high school tomorrow morning at 8:30. Several agencies and volunteers from the community will perform a drug situation and discuss the dangers of making and using meth. In addition, there will be guest speakers, including a Marshall County Detention Center inmate who will talk about his past experiences with meth, a recovered meth addict, and an international speaker, David Parnell, who will tell his story of meth addiction. The sponsor of the mock meth lab bust is Collier Funeral Home in Benton, who is funding the cost involved. Deputy Coroner Barry Taylor says officials hope that by demonstrating the dangers involved, they can reach some teenagers thinking about or currently using meth. The Better Business Bureau is warning consumers to watch out for cyber scams involving Osama bin Laden. Malicious websites and links have been circulating online through Google image searches, Facebook, and other social media sites. Officials are urging consumers while they are on Facebook to not open any videos that reportedly show bin Laden's death. The videos contain a virus that will infect computers through a malicious URL. Another Facebook scam lures victims to pages with promises of free airplane tickets and other free offers to celebrate bin Laden's death. Consumers are also urged to be cautious of links to Osama-related websites that they find on Twitter or any other link with a URL that leads to another unfamiliar web page, and emails from individuals who claim to be an insider that needs your help in smuggling Osama's money out of Pakistan. For more information on how consumers can protect themselves from potential scams, contact the Better Business Bureau at 1-800-388-2222. In other news, a Graves County woman and an Arkansas man were arrested on drug charges when police executed a search warrant at a Mayfield residence. Mayfield police served the search warrant at a home located at 831 South 10th Street around 3:35 yesterday afternoon. Upon entering the residence, police found 24-year-old Jerry Coopwood of Heth, Arkansas in a bedroom with several bags of marijuana, as well as a pistol that he claimed belonged to him. Police say Coopwood has felony convictions out of Arkansas, and a records check showed the gun was stolen. Officers also found 23-year-old Gioni G. of Water Valley in the residence, along with marijuana, crack cocaine, marijuana blunts, and a metal pipe used to smoke pot. Coopwood was charged with trafficking within 1,000 yards of a school, firearm enhanced, receiving stolen property, firearm, possession of a handgun by a convicted felon, and possession of drug paraphernalia. G was charged with possessing a controlled substance, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia. Meanwhile, a traffic stop landed a Christian County woman in jail after state police allegedly found items used to manufacture meth in her vehicle. 26-year-old Crystal Lancaster of Herndon was pulled over by Kentucky State Police for traffic violations on Bradshaw Road, about 6 miles south of Hopkinsville, yesterday afternoon around 5:20. During the traffic stop, a Kentucky Vehicle Enforcement Officer's canine was used to search the vehicle, and police found narcotics and other items used to manufacture methamphetamine. Lancaster was arrested and taken to the Christian County Jail, where officers found additional meth on her during a search. Lancaster was charged with manufacturing meth, unlawful possession of meth precursor, promoting contraband, and her second offense of possession of a controlled substance, methamphetamine. 2 Hopkinsville teens are accused of making hundreds of dollars worth of fake money. Following a joint investigation by the U.S. Treasury Department and the U.S. Secret Service, Hopkinsville police cited a 17-year-old Christian County High School student for 18 counts of second-degree criminal possession of a forged instrument. Police also cited 19-year-old Robert Bressler Jr. for 2 counts of second-degree criminal possession of a forged instrument. According to Hopkinsville police, the juvenile admitted to having 18 counterfeit $100 bills that he burned, and after a consented search of his bedroom, officers found another $100 counterfeit bill. The 17-year-old also told police he disposed of the destroyed printer that was used to produce the money. Police say the serial number recovered from some of the money matched 2 bills that were used at Clarksville businesses. The counterfeit bills were also reportedly passed in several places in Paducah and Hopkinsville. Taking a look at Friday's Mega Millions jackpot, it's up to $12 million, and Saturday's Powerball jackpot is $50 million.